As we all know, ever since Avengers Endgame, Marvel movies have never felt the same, with many of Marvel's new releases being flop after flop after flop. But how did this change happen and what can Marvel do to fix it? Let's start at where everything went wrong. I think it all started at Avengers Endgame, specifically when they made Captain America into an old man and wrapped up his story. I think a big problem in today's MCU is that there's no leader or big three kind of like Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. There are so many new characters but no leader or person to bring them all together. Iron Man died, but I thought that was a great end to his story. Thor is still in the MCU, but we haven't seen him in a while. Thor Love and Thunder was a flop, and Thor can't really be the sole leader of the MCU because most of his focus is on Asgard and not Earth. But you might ask, what about the other Avengers? They also killed off Black Widow, Hawkeye is living happily with his family now, and the Hulk is now Professor Hulk. They ended the story of every single person in the original six Avengers, which is why I think keeping Captain America would have fixed a lot of problems, because we all know and love Captain America. He's a great leader and could have been a big character in the multiverse saga. Although I will say Marvel got kind of unlucky with the death of Chadwick Boseman, because Black Panther was set up pretty well with becoming a leader. Another thing that Marvel could have done is even if they kept Captain America turning old, giving the shield to Bucky would have, in my opinion, turned out better. Falcon as a character is too complicated now because he has his wings and all of his gadgets, and now he has, on top of that, Captain America's shield. A different problem Marvel has is forgetting about characters. For example, when Shang-Chi came out, I thought it was a great movie and I love the character. That movie came out in 2021 and it is now 3 years later and we haven't seen him since. Another example of this is Kate Bishop and Yelena from Hawkeye and Black Widow. The last time we saw both of them was also in 2021. I thought they were both great and was excited to see them again, but it is now 3 years later and we haven't seen either of them again. Of course, Yelena will be in the new Thunderbolts movie in 2025, but I will talk more about that later. Right now, I want to talk about Kate Bishop. What I said earlier was a lie. Kate Bishop made a cameo in the Marvels movie, but I didn't know that until I was double checking the information on this video. Why? Because I didn't watch the Marvels, because I have no interest in it. The Marvels was the first movie or show I didn't watch other than She-Hulk, because it is about characters I don't care about and it got bad reviews. Like who, and I mean who wants to watch a movie about Captain Marvel? And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way because the Marvels generated the all-time low box office earnings in MCU history. Enough about that. Now I'm going to talk about how Marvel could fix their universe. First, I'm going to talk about one thing that I think the MCU should do, then I'm going to talk about some things that I like that they're doing. The thing that I think the MCU should do is have more team-up Avengers movies that have all the MCU characters coming together and fighting alongside each other. Because that fixes the problem that the characters kind of feel like they have nothing to do with each other, like each one is in its own universe, and it brings them together so they know each other and can put more opportunities on the table for future movies. The last team-up Avengers movie was Avengers Endgame, and that was in 2019. I know that Avengers Secret Wars and Doomsday are coming out, but that's not until 2026 and 2027 and they definitely should have had one in between Endgame in 2019 and Doomsday in 2026. Now I'm going to talk about stuff that I like that Marvel is doing, and I'm going to start with the Thunderbolts. I've always been way higher on the Thunderbolts than everyone else because, as you heard at the beginning of the video, I'm very high on Yelena, and I also think that characters like Bucky, Ghost, and Red Guardian are characters that could be very, very good. I'm also not sure if Kate Bishop is in the Thunderbolts movie, because as I mentioned earlier, I really liked her character too. So if you know anything about that, please let me know in the comments. Of course, recently a trailer for the Thunderbolts got leaked, and apparently it looked very good. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it, but it seems like that many people are now very excited for the Thunderbolts, which I think is a great thing, because if the Thunderbolts exceeds expectations in the movie, it could be a great group in Marvel. Of course, you can't talk about things Marvel is doing right and not talk about Spider-Man. In No Way Home, everyone's memory got erased on who Spider-Man is, basically meaning they have to reintroduce him with all the Avengers. I think this gives Marvel many opportunities on what to do with him. For example, he could rejoin the Avengers, or he can even join the Thunderbolts or even the Young Avengers. They are in complete control on what they can do with Spider-Man now. On a different note, for the next Spider-Man movie, I think it's a great time to also introduce Miles Morales because he no longer has MJ or Ned to be his guy in the chair. Miles Morales has so much hype around him right now because of the Spider-Verse movies, so he would instantly be a popular character if done right. Another thing I've heard is people who say they don't want MJ in this movie, but in my opinion, they should definitely have MJ in this movie because they should make Peter try to build up the confidence to tell her that they were dating and that he is Spider-Man. Moving on, the MCU needs Captain America for Brave New World to succeed and be a great movie. They are trying to push Falcon into a bigger role, and Captain America 4 is the movie to not only prove Marvel can still make great movies, but to convince people that the Falcon with the shield can be a great character. In conclusion, Marvel needs a big character to bring all the characters together, because right now it feels like one group of characters has nothing to do with another group of characters. Marvel should focus on making movies about characters that everyone likes because they need some of their movies to be big hits to make a comeback. In my opinion, if Brave New World and The Thunderbolts are good movies, it could fix many problems. However, the main focus for Marvel right now should be Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars because they need the big team up movies to be great. Because those movies will be the most important ones because those bring all the characters together to fix the problem of the characters feeling too distant from one another.